It's finished. Eastleigh 2, Altrincham 1 at the Silver Lake Stadium, and Phil Parkinson joins us post-match. Phil, overall reflections on that game?
Really disappointed that we couldn't come away with a draw. I thought we defended well enough to get a draw. Don't get me wrong, Eastleigh, for me on the day, were the better team in terms of the territory they had. They played some nice stuff as well. I just felt free kick obviously was the defining moment where they obviously took the free kick and put it in the top corner, but I felt with the opportunities that we created without being very dominant in possession, I could have easily come away with a draw. So disappointed with that, but listen, if I'm Eastleigh manager, I'm made up that I've got that victory, and they're certainly not celebrating themselves because with regard to territory, they certainly were the stronger team, the better team. We've got to... We turned the ball over too many times. That was our issue today. We didn't get on top of the game playing our way, and that for me is probably the most disappointing part of the game, taking away the defeat as well.
First quarter of an hour went very well. We scored a goal and could have had a second goal before Eastleigh had really got into the game, but they gradually took control, and they had a lot of chances really without really testing Matty Gold.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The ball's into the box, so people will call them chances. I'm just calling that a ball into the box, or they're going to attack. So I've said it a number of times, it's not the sort of football I want to sort of watch or encourage my lads to sort of play, but it works for certain teams and it worked for Eastleigh today. But listen, they weren't just a long ball team, they played some nice stuff as well. They've got some good players, and they're probably looking at their season and they're not too happy with the start. We've had a great start, we're going to have these little setbacks. Coming to Eastleigh is always a difficult match, there's lots of teams who will come unstuck here. I think just the frustrating thing for me is we did have chances to maybe increase our lead, let's say, just before half time. I feel if we just score that opportunity that we had, if Marcus doesn't turn away to get it onto his left and sets Tom, I think that's a goal, and that makes it really difficult for them. But we didn't, and we knew with the amount of territory that they had, the amount of balls that they were putting into the box, at some point, if we didn't start retaining the ball better, that could potentially happen.
Eastleigh scored 2 goals, quick fire goals, and in that early part of the second half we certainly gave the ball away far too often.
Absolutely, I just said that, didn't I? We turned it over too much.
And in terms of where we go from here, it's not the end of the world. We've still had a very good start to this season, and we've got a big game now in front of the BT Sport cameras on Tuesday night.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it doesn't get any better to bounce back, does it? So a big motivational factor for the players is our superb supporters who were great again today. Again, obviously not mass numbers, but good numbers turning up to support the lads. We know we're going to get a bumper crowd for the home fixture, so that will really inspire us, and if the lads can't get up for that, then there's something seriously wrong with them, but they do normally respond. It's a great group, and I just said to them in there, we're really disappointed because we come away at Eastleigh, we were always one of the playoff contenders, one of the sort of title favourites, and we're really disappointed we've lost. We felt we should have drawn just because on chances, not territory. So that just shows again, I know a lot of managers say how far we've come, but also we've got to remember we're always overachieving in this division, and like I said, you've got to take the rough with the smooth at times, and we're going to have to swallow a medicine, accept the fact that Eastleigh were the stronger team on the day, learn from the opportunities that we had and when we should finish a game off. We've just got to do better in them situations.
And we came here a year ago, massive underdogs, our third game in the back in the National League. We've come here today, I wouldn't say we're not favourites by any means, but we've come here today knowing that we've got a good opportunity to take something from the game.
Yeah, we've raised the bar, haven't we? So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to curb people's expectations. I'm just trying to always remind people of the realisation of who we are and what we're doing. It was a really close game. 2-1 score reflects that. The opportunities that we had, we could have easily come away with a draw or even a win, but we wouldn't have deserved that, I don't feel. So, like you said there, we've got to understand what we are, what we're doing in this division. We're doing brilliantly to compete. We're going to win a lot of games, I think people can see that. We'll lose games as well, and it's about how quickly we can bounce back, and the lads have shown they're more than capable of bouncing back in this division.
terms of the referee, I don't think he changed the outcome of the game, but there was certainly a bit of frustration with some of his decisions. Every time there was an appeal for a foul, it seemed to go their way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to answer it, but like every manager who gets asked that question, I'll answer it as honestly as I can. It was a really physical game. Our lads are coming in there, black and blue. I don't remember many free kicks that we got in terms of our box when we were defending, but it felt like any kind of contact, any screen from their player seemed to get a free kick. That's a weak official for me who gives that. In general, I think he officiates quite well, but it just felt like key moments, and that's what we look at as managers. That's why we get angry at officials. At key moments, it seemed to favour them with the decisions more so than us, and you feel like that when you've lost. But throughout the game, I was really frustrated. I bit my tongue till half time, and then you're asking questions, you don't get the answers, and you blow your top at a certain point. So yeah, really disappointed with some of the officiating, but it's tough because they're never going to be right. We've lost, so it looks like sour grapes. You don't want to bang on too much about it.
And we've come down to Hampshire to take on Eastleigh. We've got the biggest squad that we've ever had, and yet we've only just been able to put out 16 players today. That just goes to show some of the injury difficulties that we've got.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a strange week. We had a few drop out in training that we weren't expecting. And that's why we have a big squad. So I said it on my last interview, it was imperative that we have that strength and depth. It's nearly got us through today, but we certainly weren't at our strongest, but we are a squad. I think Jake the skipper said something at half time, are we in this together? That's sort of our motto, that's kind of our mantra. We know we're nothing on our own, and together we'll always stick together, and it's important that everyone's contributing. You could see that today, and with what you would probably say a weakened squad compared to what we've been able to put out previously, we weren't too far away where we weren't certainly at our best, but we weren't a million miles away.